All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
You gave me your loving, and I fell from grace.
And boom, welcome aboard, everybody. We are live, Copperhead Road Podcast on Rumble, always live on Rumble and YouTube, and I think it's Kick, and you know what? Plenty of places you can find us. As Rex said, I think you click your heels 3 times, you look in the mirror, Copperhead Road, Copperhead Road, Copperhead Road, boom. Next thing you know, you're dead. Good night, everybody. I'm your boy Footer. That's my man Rex. Jen behind the glass.
What's up, money makers?
What's up? What's going on?
Nothing. I've had quite a day, but I was thinking about something. I was watching an Andrew Wilson debate, and I forgot who he was talking to. Maybe it was No, it wasn't Destiny. But anyway, they were talking about Jesus and whether or not he was Jewish. And I don't know. I thought both sides made a good point, but I was curious to know what you thought. Do you think that Jesus was Jewish?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
I believe because his lineage, in regards, to well, I guess does it count your mother's lineage? It really doesn't, I guess.
Well, I think
I don't know.
that is the deciding factor in Judaism, I believe.
Okay. And then also, he was a rabbi. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he was teaching in Abrahamic, and Jesus. It's tough. It's tough. I think I've never heard each argument. I really don't think it matters, to be quite honest with you. But what else was he? He wasn't a Christian. I mean, why wasn't he a Christian?
Yeah.
Because the ones that were Christian were the ones that followed Christ. You know what I mean? I don't know if
you would agree with me when I say that Christianity is the one true faith, right?
Of course.
Right. So obviously, since he's the Son of God and also God, he
it wasn't there though. You know what I'm saying? For him to be it.
Well, but if he's the Son of God, he already knew that. He already knew that when from the day he graced Earth, he knew what the one true religion was. Like, it's not like he was practicing Judaism and then all of a sudden he realized that they were going the wrong way and he needed to lead a path into another direction. He would have been born with that knowledge, correct? He would have been brought to Earth with that knowledge.
Well, here's the thing. Even like I'm assuming though, even when he was a little boy and stuff, he followed the Sabbath. He followed the Shabbat or whatever, all those different things, Passover. So he was following Jewish religions. I'm going to say he was a Jew.
Right. But my point is that if he is God, he knew that was wrong. So there's no way he could get a revelation.
I don't know. I don't think it was wrong, to be honest with you, because again, if you were a Jew and you
you got your fucking 7K. I hear it already.
Yeah. No, I think if you're a Jew and if you acknowledge, him being the Son of God, then again, I don't know for sure how I would reconcile that, to be honest with you. But I think it's a good. I don't think it matters in any way, but just for shits and giggles to get some different answers, I'd be interested in to hear what people have to say.
A bit of a thought project, that is. I like it.
Sure. Yeah, not terrible. I don't hate it.
I don't
like, again. I don't feel like in any way we could be blasphemous.
No,
by exploring it.
I think it's a good exercise of the mind. And I bring that up because I titled the show as Gen Alpha Going Christian. And I told you about this off air, and it wasn't okay. So Jen and I, we took our daughter to do some school shopping, and it's actually believe it or not, they actually still have malls that actually has like a multitude of stores. It's actually operable and things or whatever. And I think part of it is because since we live out in the middle of nowhere, it's not like
Amazon doesn't work as well for you.
Well, you still want to have feel and touch and things, whatever. And not only that, but like, unless you know exactly what you're looking for, even Amazon, if you're like, school clothes for somebody that's in this grade, like you're still going to get the top 300 are going to be their promoted sponsored things or whatever. But anyway, so we went to Hollister, we went to what was that place, the Urban something,
Urban Outfitters.
And then it was not Urban Outfitter, but it was but we Aerie, which is an American Eagle thing, I think, and whatever. But I would say Aeropostale. Oh, it's an Aeropostale thing. But I would say 70% of the stores that we went into had a very noticeable Christian influence in all of their imagery, their word, like a lot of crosses,
really?
a lot of Bible quotes and WWJD, that kind of thing. Like it was noticeable. Like it wasn't just like one or two. It was like I know that one store that we had gone to or whatever, half of their clothes all had Christian stuff, and it wasn't like a Christian store or whatever.
Right, and I think it's fair to say you're not located in, like, let's say, the Bible Belt or anything of that nature.
No, I would say the opposite. Which is the unbible belt, I guess.
Yeah. My brain, as soon as you said that, my brain started thinking of where I was going to go with it. So.
But I don't know if you've noticed that, please leave a comment in chat or let us know to see, because I'm curious if this is just like a one-off thing. But I do feel, and maybe it's because like the mooring of society and our way is so not Christian right now, at least as far as the I don't know, the way the media is presented or whatever, that there is a need for Gen Alpha, which I believe is the new generation, to find something like that, because we've even pointed out with Bakash and whatever, that there is a strong push to not only Christianity but the hardcore Orthodox and Latin Mass Catholic and that kind of a thing. So that would be very interesting if anybody else has anything to put on that.
I have a question too. So let me ask you this: how'd you feel about that when you first saw it?
It almost made me cry. It was
really, or you being a dick?
No, I'm not being a dick. I'm serious. Like, and again, I've mentioned how I feel about Christianity before, but it was a similar feeling that I got like when you see a black guy espousing the great thing that is the United States or the conservative values and things like that. It was a very, very nice feeling that I felt about it.
Right, and quite the change, obviously, from I think I mentioned to you privately of back in whatever, even the last almost decade, to be perfectly honest with you. Stores like Target promoting LGBTQ plus trans. This woke ideology that's being pushed again. You don't have to say, you don't have to have "I hate gays" as your your motif at your store. But I'll tell you, a lot of these stores at one point, went so far in that the total opposite would probably be that. I think that the nice alternative is embracing Christianity or at least something revolved around faith. Again, I love the Christianity thing. I don't want them to start selling fucking Muhammad fucking hoodies.
Yeah, because the drawstring, I bet you, would come up real high. Two things. Number one, a little bit of a housekeeping thing. I believe your chair is hooked, or the cord from your Copperhead Road sign is hooked to your chair, and you're about to pull it down.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that would be great. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's one. The other thing is the only thing that I could see as being sort of a not good thing is that I don't want it to become just a fad. They talked about this on King of the Hill, where
that was going to be my next question, because I was going to say to you, first was going to be like, how'd you feel? And then my question was going to be, and then I'll let you go on about it. Do you feel that it was being pushed as a marketing ploy. For example, I'm making it up. If I dig into, let's just say the company I'm making the company up is Blase Blah Apparel, and we look up Blase Blah Apparel, and they're owned by gay people, you know what I mean, or whatever. Something totally contradicting the brand. Did you feel it was that way? And did you see any type of things from people as they went by it?
On the second part, no, I didn't. But there wasn't a ton of people there. We went during the week, so that could have been the case. The only thing that, I mean, it could be a marketing thing, but I don't think companies go out on a limb without some sort of a feed. You know what I mean? That gives them some kind of an inclination to work.
Yeah.
But in either case, my concern again is that, like, they had, the King of the Hill episode where Bobby goes to some kind of a pastor thing, and the guy has tattoos and he's doing skateboarding.
I remember it. Yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah.
Pastor.
He was like the cool pastor.
Yeah.
Pastor like Dan or Pastor Seth or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. But that's the only thing I don't want it to be just, and that's even what Hank points out. I don't want it to be a trend and something you let go in your adulthood, whatever. But like, so that would be the only part that I could see it being bad. But I even when Ramona, my daughter, actually bought a couple of things or whatever that had those markings on it, and so even last night and the night before, she started drawing crosses because she's a big artist kind of thing. So she started drawing a lot of crosses, and again, I hope that it becomes more of an open door into something rather than, again, just a fad, because that would not.
Well, again, I get that, and the good thing is too, I think she's smart enough, and she's kudos to you guys for her. She's raised in the right way where she wouldn't, a trend, a fad, or an influencer wouldn't boo-hoo her research and or like mess up her research. So and I always said, like, it was very refreshing to know that, in my opinion, I found the truth. You know what I'm saying? So she's not going to be having people just automatically debunk everything that she is looking into. And doesn't mean she shouldn't get pushback on things. I think Christianity encourages good debate. I know they do. So it's not like other religions where it's just like, no, here's what we tell you. Don't go talking, don't go asking other people because they're deceiving you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So go find out. And I think it's good that she's smart enough to kind of, if she does go down that path, the truth will lead her there.
Veronica's, hey buddy. He says my son is going to show both Christianity and my beliefs, and given a choice. So he's going to give him both Christianity and the wrong idea at the same time, and and then
again, I think that's great, because I believe that once found, once told and shown the truth, it a smart kid is going to gravitate to that, unless you have somebody purposely boo-hooing it, and or like I said, like, bring it back to the Candace thing. If they have an ideology that they're not going to budge from no matter what, they're going to build their case around it. It's a very disingenuous, very dishonest approach to trying to find the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Colonel said he remembers the LGBT trans baby stuff that that Target was doing. And Veronica says this is the way. And if you mean pagan, you mean to hell. So, but that's fine. We'll enjoy your time on Earth, and we'll pray for your soul after, if that's what we got to do. So anyway, I'm encouraged, but also cautious on that. But if any of you have seen that, I would be curious to know.
Well, again, I think too is the part of the bad part and the good part together is that a lot of these young music artists right now, and a lot of the things that are considered pop, or is mainstream and big with this generation, a lot of them have come to Christ. You know what I mean? And so my point is, you have to. What gets me frustrated, but I understand it. Is the and again, even in the Bible, like Christ, there was, remember how pissed he was at that fig tree that had leaves but was bearing no fruit? Seriously, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like what I'm worried about with like these artists and stuff. And then what happens is, and it happens, I mean, I think that the biggest apostasy towards Christianity happens when, a horrible person that claims to be a Christian does something terrible to somebody. And then it just ruins, because they do something horrible. And the same thing, I shouldn't say that, because unfortunately Muslims can't even say it's the same thing, because in their Quran, and the actual beliefs, it's not that peace or love. So anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, it's dangerous on both ways in regards to when you have these influences and big guys turning to Christ. It's great, but you gotta be careful.
Veronica says he believes in reincarnation, so I'll see you after I finish this playthrough. So that's, again,
Veronica runs around the house fucking yelling Valhalla. You know what I mean? Just bumping into walls.
And even if you do believe in reincarnation, my question, so you're saying that, once born you can be born again. Is that the idea of what I'm guessing it is? So even if that's the case, where do the new souls come from? Because the population's bigger now, so there has to be new souls generated from somewhere. What are you saying? Pigs getting letting into the human society? Moose, a Meeson, their souls, they did so well, they're going to actually become humans next time. So where do new souls come from? That's what I was curious to say.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, when you die, it doesn't mean, like you still exist. You're just dead on earth. You know what I mean? But your existence still is there.
Yeah, you're a slave in heaven making chicken cutlets for Cap.
Captain Cesariak. Yeah, exactly. Him and Bakash tag teaming me in the fucking kitchen. I'm frying up fucking non-swine products.
I hope I come back. This is Colonel. I hope I come back as a 1980s Chinese woman. Be like a 2-week lifespan, especially if you're in Nagasaki. No, that's funny.
You'd have nice skin. They have very nice skin.
I don't care for the Asian. I don't care for the Asian. I don't care for the indigenous people. I have no use for them. So speaking of Bakash and Vironix, it is important to note August 29th, I think it's at 11:30. We are doing a debate.
AM or PM?
AM.
What day is that? Sunday?
Saturday.
Nice. Oh, look at that.
What they agreed on. So we are going to start promoting that. We are working on a stinger. I was hoping to get it done today, but I didn't have the time. So we didn't settle on a specific topic. I think it's going to be a little bit more broad view. I know Veronica is anxious to talk about perhaps just a little bit of some kind of a racism that is sort of inherent in Black Hebrew Israelites. So we'll see what Bakash has to say about that. I haven't actually heard a lot from.
He'll probably just go, yup. Good night, everybody. Debate over.
Yeah. Okay, so Veronica says, well, if you use science, the energy can neither be created or destroyed. So sunlight, prove me wrong. Well, what created the sunlight energy? Well, we can just keep going farther and farther down the line if you want.
Again, that's why it needs to come back to unmovable mover. You know what I mean? It has to always start with that, which has to exist outside of time. You know what I'm saying? And then again, you could keep describing what it needs to be, right? And then you sit there and you look at everything on a piece of paper. You go, damn, that sounds like God. You know what I'm saying? That's the funniest part about it. Is like, no matter what, like every atheist that has ever really kind of chopped it up, at the end of the day, like their description is like, okay, yeah, no, you know what? Yeah, you're right. That is the description. Wow, that sounds a lot like God. That's weird.
Yeah. Veronix, do me a favor. Give me an instance where an inanimate object can create some kind of life. That'd be cool. So he says, I'll keep telling you that we are inside a marble. That's cute. Did you not see Men in Black? So you're basically saying that the Bible is poo-poo, but Will Smith and that old dude is gospel. Is that what you're saying? What the hell is that old guy's name?
And I always like to go to Bruce. I always like to go to Bruce Almighty for all of my theology. Just to let you know.
I'm more of an Evan Almighty fan. I didn't like Bruce Almighty. I thought Evan Almighty was all right.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a Steve Carell guy. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. And I again, all right, if we're inside this big marble, right? You know, like we're like, how did that happen?
No. Sounds like an Animaniacs skit.
Wonderful. Do me a favor, if you're here, hit the like button right away, guys. We should have at least 6 likes right now. We may have that. I don't know. But do that. It'll help the algorithm. Oh, you know what? Let me address something real quick.
Do it now.
Because
do it quick.
I will. There's a lot of things that I could say again.
I said I'm channeling Deb. Go ahead.
Nice, yeah. I don't know what that means, but sex. I get what you did. I see you, pig. I see what you did.
Insertion and friction. Go ahead.
Yeah, good one. So there's a lot of things that I am that are probably negative, right? And,
I'm greedy.
What is that? I missed it. I didn't. That was illegible. Damn it. Do it again.
I'm needy.
I'm needy.
Yeah.
I'm needy. Ooh, you clip that and you can play that one. That's a little more legible. So I'm looking at the chat. Excuse me, at the comments for Spotify.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot. Right. I could be called, needy. I could be called maybe a little wacky. I don't know, a lot of things. But one thing, as far as like an attribute of mine, liar is not one of them. Okay. So when I'm called a liar in the comments, it doesn't make me angry. But I definitely feel like the need, like, do I ever complain when anybody, like, whatever, beats me up or whatever, makes fun of me, like, oh, he stammers or he stutters or whatever, not funny, whatever. Never do I address that. Okay. But when you call me a liar, I do have a little bit of a issue with that because I don't lie. So what happens when you say that, when I bring up and I go, 10 to 15,000 views a month, I point 30 to 50,000 views a month. And then you tell me that and in chat, he or she says that I'm lying. I can just, if Rex wants to, one time he could just screenshot and we can post the numbers, or I can hold the phone up or whatever. However you want to do that. Like, why would I lie? Like, you know what I'm saying? What would it behoove me to do? Like how's it gonna make me,
newspaper in the other, if you could
say again?
A phone in one hand and then a current newspaper in the other, if you could manage that.
Right. But I'm saying if you do want me to do that, and again, I don't know if Rex likes to keep those things, whatever, private, but I don't, because I say it, so I don't think there would be any reason not to keep it private. But my point is, it's kind of silly, when like there's zero reason to lie. You know what I mean? So I just think you better if I was you, I would advise you to you have plenty of things you can beat me up on. You know what I mean? And attack my character on.
And I understand if you look at our live numbers, they're not always spectacular, but there are some occasions where we'll hit a few thousand over all of our platforms or whatever. So if
I'm talking about including Spotify. I understand.
I'm saying it, but if your only measure is our live numbers between Rumble and YouTube and things or whatever, that's fine. Hey Mel, how are you?
What's up, Mel?
I could see where you get it, but again, the numbers do pan out, and
again, how would it? I just don't understand how it would make us like feel better by lying about it. You know what I'm saying? You want to know what I would do if I didn't have good numbers? I wouldn't bring up the numbers. You know what I mean? You know my point? Like I wouldn't. I just wouldn't bring them up.
Donald's a bit of a curmudgeon. You know what I mean? He likes to try to get you go. That's just how he is. And he upset me even a little bit this week. Of course, again, I was not in the greatest of moods when I read his comment.
My whole thing is too is it just real quick with that though. Rex is like, but how is that even like by? I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have interrupted. I apologize. Go ahead.
It's totally fine. But he had made point, and again, if the reason we had actually did like a sort of a 3-part special over the weekend, and the reason that we had put those up is that the 3 videos that we had did, one of them is of Matt Kester, who goes over the audio analysis of the Charlie Kirk event, and sort of pinpoints that it was definitely that caliber from that roof. Another one was the Matt Tardio thing. I think he was also with Paramount Tactical too, going over why the exploding microphone can't be a thing. And then the third was the third part was Turkey Tom going over the Discord and SoundCloud messages that Footer and I often reference when we're talking about Candace. So we wanted to put some sort of a thing together. So when we're like, well, we heard this, and so we actually have a little bit of information to back up our claims when it comes to that kind of stuff. And
then a caveat, Rex, on that is her tagging it by saying, if I wanted to get the story I was interested in, I do the research on my own. Okay, so it's either that comment either means that you would go out and start firing your ballistics into gel dummies and doing the acoustics and all of that stuff, or it means you would go to a source. Maybe you found a video, maybe some information, and you'd put together a whole bunch of info and kind of, guess. And that's what we gave you. So we were really just trying to make it a little bit easier for you, especially when, again, I think if you are honest with yourself and with everybody else, this show has been very open-minded to doing, to entertaining any type of reasonable, or logical explanation for these things in regards to Charlie Kirk. So that's why it doesn't hold any water.
Yeah. Veronica asks, that'll be Friday. Officer Tatum did a Jubilee, the 1 verse 20 thing that he did on YouTube, I believe. And then so on Friday night, Footer and I are going to do a little bit of a reaction to that. And we're going to take a look at it because I like Officer Tatum a lot. I know he gets a lot of heat, but I think he's genuine and he's often right. And
hit the like button, guys, please. Come on. You got 7-8 people just in the moment. You should be that many likes. You know what I mean? It really is silly not to. I like him too, Rex. I do.
Yeah, and thank you, Mel. He says he or she, I'm not sure. I respect Tatum. He's the only one that had the gayones to go and interview the boys. He definitely stays pretty true to his game. And I know early on, especially with the Charlie Kirk thing, before the Charlie Kirk thing, he was friends with Candace, and I'm thinking that's sort of fizzled out. But he did. And
that's not good.
I was gonna say he did keep his powder dry for a long period of time and didn't even go after her when he was clearly on the outs with her. But I think that's long in the past now.
And that's not to say that he doesn't ever make mistakes or what I mean. Like
the black person makes mistakes.
No, a black police officer. What the hell's wrong with me? You're 100% right.
You're such a racist.
Yeah, for real. No, but I say that because I've heard things that I 100% didn't agree with him, or his take I felt was a little bit leaning, or was a little bit biased. But again, for the most part, everybody at a certain level, which obviously we're not there yet, they are a little biased. You know what I mean? And they kind of need to stay the course. Doesn't mean that they're dishonest. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, I really enjoy his takes. I don't watch him that often, but everything I see, I do like.
Freaking Veronica's doing Henny Youngman jokes in the fucking chat. I don't make mistakes. I thought I did once, but I was mistaken.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, dude, that could have been perfect, but all you would have needed to do is just put good night, everybody, and you would have played right into the bit. We wouldn't have called you out for being a hack.
Yeah. Or you could have really played the footer's favorite and did ta-da.
Yeah, again, I gave up on ta-da. I really, again, because you guys are a lot of, not new listeners, but I don't know if you were there for the first 50, 60 shows. God, I was pushing ta-da right before. Good night, everybody. It just never, I mean, I had ta-da t-shirts, you know what I mean? The two hands like this, you know what I mean? 70 styles tee, you know, and just ta-da never caught on.
Ta and da.
The foam, yeah, you know what I mean? And I thought it'd be fun, like everything from like something cute you do with your kids to like, you know, when you're in bed with your wife and you just finished coming and you're just like, ta-da! You know what I mean? Like I figured like it could really work all the way across the board. You
don't need to work blue, footer. You can, you know. You could say finish like this, you know.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Are we 18 under tonight? We were. If that's the case, I thought we were 18 plus today. I didn't hit made for kids.
You're better than that. You're better than that. Especially if Opie's going to come on the show. He can't be listening to that.
Yeah, I think I dropped the ball on that though. You know what? Let me check my email. But I did drop the ball, I think, on because I said we are going to be around noon. But I left the Copperhead Road the Copperhead Road podcast info one for him because I couldn't think of the other one.
Yeah. So anyway, so I probably won't be today, but we're kind of hoping to maybe have Mr. Opie Hughes on the show here in a little while. And rightfully so. Footer gave him plenty of content throughout the years. There's no reason he can't come on and join us for a little bit of glazing because we were both Opie fans. So
and he even on his show when I jump in his chat, he always says nice things about me. You know what I mean? He'll always say like, "Oh, beautiful, it's Foot." You know, "Oh, Footer's been a good guy. He's been with me from the beginning." But I had a good line today on his chat that he put up on the screen, and he busted out laughing. He was talking about like this crazy lady they used to live with or whatever, blah blah blah, and they took her away. But when she came back, and they found out she was crazy because she had like a dead cat and they smelt it or something. And then so she got taken away, but then she showed up at the apartment like months later saying, "Oh, I'm fine, everybody. You know, everything's good." I'm like, "Yeah," but she had like a dead dog tucked under her arm, like with like a purse. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was funnier in his chat.
Oh, that was your contribution.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was still. I thought she actually did show up, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't hear the part where you said
that was. No, I probably didn't say it right. I got nervous.
That's okay. Don't get nervous.
What's up, John? What's up, John Stevenson? I didn't see you in there, buddy.
What are you trying to give us some stuff there? I guess.
How about later, peeps? What about later, peeps?
Yeah.
A new catchphrase.
A new ta-da. Yeah.
I mean, good night, everybody. I think works pretty good. Pingle McCringle. God, I love that name. The host on the left with the shades is giving me half chub. Okay, first of all, it should be a full one.
Yeah.
Don't you insult my partner, okay? If you're gonna get a fucking sorry, I shouldn't see if you say fucking before the word, then it's too harsh. But if you're gonna get a freaking erection, all right, you better be jacking off. Oh, that's great.
Oh God.
What's John Stevenson say? He said, "What's up, man? Been busy working on Infinity. PETA got her fixed. Working on Infinity? Your car?
Yeah.
You driving an Infinity, big shot?
Yeah, Infinity. That's the hoity-toity Mazda or Nissan? Or is
it's like a Camry, but fancy.
No, the Toyota. No, that would be the what's the Toyota?
Maxima?
No, I forgot. Honda's hoity-toity brand is Acura. Nissan, I think, is Infinity. No, maybe Mazda. It's Mazda and Infinity. Infinity is a fancy Mazda. Then Toyota's fancy one is I don't remember.
But Veronica said he has to do some security stuff. I hope it's exciting. And he comes back on the show. He's like, "Oh my God, I just had to tune up a perp."
I thought I was going to say, I hope it's exciting. He takes a round in the shoulder.
Wow, that would be good too. I don't mind that.
I wonder if he's in a position where he could actually maybe take some gunfire. I wonder if he carries. Does he carry? Did he already say that he does?
Yes, I believe he does. I think he said he does.
Yeah.
Nissan with paddles, shifters, leather, and all the bells and whistles. Oh, okay. So it is. Yeah, he's working on that. Paddle shift, nice. What do you got under the hood, buddy?
I had no idea that we were fucking yucking your yum right now. For the love of God, I'm sorry. Heaven forfend.
Yeah, I love it.
Hate that. I really hate that heaven forfend. It bothers me.
Yeah, I don't want you to say that.
Why? Because it insults your Christian beliefs, or just the fact that it's a horrible saying?
No, I'm gonna pretend like I don't know what it means at all. It just sounds horrible. Because if you're blaspheming or using my Lord's name in vain, I'll have to come over and smack you. I don't want to do that. I might mess up your pretty face.
Speaking of things that bother you, I said something in our private chat the other day, and you didn't like it. I said, you may or may not have a sleepy pee-pee. Why did that bother you?
Because again, like it's so like hacky. It's almost saying like I said, it's almost like a poop shoot
it's not hacky because I invented it and you've never heard it before, so it can't be hack.
No, I definitely have heard it before, bro.
You haven't, I guarantee you.
In the bedroom. Good night, everybody. Ta-da! Later, peeps. You see what I did there, John Stevenson?
Yeah.
That's funny. Dang's comments.
You know, the other thing I was thinking of is did Kid Rock rip off that song?
Wait, from me doing it? No.
No, I'm saying because it is a little bomb with a bomb bang. You know what I mean? There's a similarity there.
Yeah. I think so. So he's got a Nissan with paddle shift. He said that. Then a dual throttle body VQ engine, 308 HP stock. Boom. Up. And at Pingle McCringle says, I have a 92 Geo Metro piece of shit when I got it, and it still runs like a champ. Okay. Seems dangerous though, Mr. McCringle. You know, yeah, I don't think that's a safe vehicle. I missed it.
I said, would you upgrade from a Fiero? Like talking about fucking dangerous vehicles.
Yeah, but no, don't worry. I see a Ford Focus in your future. Don't you worry, pal.
Nice. That's not bad. That would be an upgrade, I think. I actually had a Ford Focus, like what was it, like a 2000 or something like that? Maybe 1999, whatever. And like again, it was just our second car or whatever. But like, fuck, I love that car. Like nothing ever went wrong with it. I could beat the hell out of it, and it always showed up to work. The only time it didn't have any fun is if it ran.
Kind of like my wife. Am I right? Good night, everybody.
Later, peeps.
Yeah, I fucking like it. Let me tell you, we go big with t-shirts. Rex will give you 3% of his half.
Yeah. Pingle McCringle, you're gonna upgrade to a Geo Tracker. Let me tell you something. About a Geo Tracker. Those things will float on mud. They're a great little mud vehicle right there. So if you're gonna step up for one of them, none of that, but they're not that hard. They're not that easy to find them more. Yeah, that reminds me
because nobody wants them.
Yeah, except for mudders. Your mudder would trash
your mudder.
I've never actually told you about my sister's ex-husband. Did I? Have I ever mentioned him? Yeah.
Who?
Jeff. Let's call him Jeff.
I can't recall.
He was one of those guys that would he was slight of intelligence. God did not give with both hands when it came to intelligence with him. But he would hear something and he would take it for real and then swear. He would die on the hill about the fact. And I'll give you two examples. Number one, down in Florida, my uncle had an orange tree, and he knew that Jeff was coming over, so he went out and he put a bunch of banana bunches in the orange tree, and told Jeff that it was an orange banana tree that he'd been working on. And then Jeff went into like a 10-minute thing about how he had heard about these orange banana trees and how he's invested in the company that makes them.
Shut up.
I'm hand to God. Hand to God.
Was he trying to be funny too, or no?
No, he was serious, and because he didn't like to be the guy who didn't know, so he would just buy in and be like, yeah, I knew about that, and then he would add his own 2 cents about what it was. And the other thing was he had a geo tracker, and somebody had told him that spring water doesn't freeze because up here springs run the year round or whatever, and somebody had convinced him that spring water itself, the water itself, doesn't freeze because springs don't freeze.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with like movement of water or anything?
Not to his defense, and not to his claim, because he replaced all of the antifreeze in his geo tracker with spring water, and it froze like a rock and blew up the motor.
Of course. Oh, of course.
So that happens.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
well, yeah, Jeff is a fool.
I'll have my sister sort of fill me in on some other ones because there were a couple of really good ones.
I'm assuming you don't see Jeff at Thanksgiving dinner anymore.
No, he's on the outs. He did the old date and marry the preschool teacher, that kind of a thing. While he was married.
It was easy for them to communicate.
Yeah, exactly.
She just treated him like the students.
Yes. Did you want to have a crayon date?
Okay, put it here, Jeffy.
So Mel, I have a 2014 F-150. Had an elderly gentleman pull out of my ass.
What?
Pull out in front of. I'm sorry, I only read part of it. Pull out in front of me last Wednesday. Didn't go well. My Ford said, "Not today, Satan."
Where are you reading this, by the way?
In chat.
I don't see that.
I'm sorry. There you have it.
Yeah. Oh, Mel said, okay. So she had, a 14. Okay.
2014. Take out your notebook.
Oh, okay. Last one. And so what are we dealing with here? We got to go to the body shop now. What are we dealing with?
Yeah. So it didn't go good.
Is it totaled?
No, I think it didn't go good for the other person.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Who cares if they pulled out? Yeah. Tell that rotting old corpse that I better pay attention.
I agree partially, Colonel. On older cars are easier to work on. Certainly engine wise, that's true. But I have found that I do like working on brakes on newer vehicles a whole lot better than on old ones, because especially living in the north or whatever, like the anti-corrosion stuff on new brake systems, way easier to deal with than the old stuff. Either stainless steel, aluminum, whatever. The bolts come off with a crescent wrench. It's easy. So I'll give you partial credit for that.
Oh, I'm sure he'll accept partial credit.
What did Veronic's back? Did he get shot?
No, he said if anyone thinks security is exciting, they've probably never been a security guard. So
you need to be a bodyguard. Can you do that? Can you Kevin?
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. What did Mel say?
Let's see. Bumper time, but trunk is hunky dory, so I guess you need a new bumper. And they streamline installation since my day. Nice, Mel. It's beautiful.
Go get him. I think I might have scared off the Chad. Maybe thought I was following him around when I saw him in that other chat room.
You came on a little aggressive.
Yeah, I did. Definitely called him out in chat. Hey, chat. Made like a big deal. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
You are a little bit of a pick-me girl. That's a problem.
Well, again, that's here nor there. I just would you call me a pygmy girl?
Pick me.
Call me a pygmy? It's fucked up.
I would never.
Man, I'll say it again. Speaking of pygmy girls, when I flip through like live streams, like I said, you see some wild things, man. Like I saw this one lady today or yesterday. She had cancer of the face.
Ooh.
And Yeah, dude, her whole one side of her face, bro. Like I wanted to fucking cry. It was so fucking deformed and fucked up. And I don't even think she was shilling for fucking money. Like I really don't think she was. I think she just wanted to be like, you know what, world, this is me.
But see, that's the exact problem with not having shame. That's something we've pointed out. Like, again, I'm sorry for your life. It's rough. I get it. But there's no reason for you to be on YouTube doing this. You're making a fool of yourself. Like even the money makers woman. Like we love money makers. She's awesome, but you're hideous. Please don't do this.
Yeah, but the see, I don't agree with that. Only because I think that she just wants to be normal, and I think that there are enough good, empathetic people out there that if you play the numbers, you know what I mean, 1,000 people, even if you got 900 telling you what a fucking, that you're a monster or something horrible like that, you might get 10 or 100 people that go, you know what, you're beautiful just the way you are, type of deal.
Actually, that sort of segues into a do you ever watch My 600-Pound Life?
I don't watch it, no, but I've seen, I guess, like I've seen it before, I think.
It's fine. It just means that it wasn't saved in the thing. It should be fine. So like Kevin James, when he was in King of Queens, used to, like, as a heavy set man myself, he used to annoy me when he would lean into the eating a bunch of stuff and whatever and being a glutton. This sort of takes the case. No pun intended. This woman is what you should not do when it comes to eating.
Day with 2 liters of milk. She downs 10 sausages and 2 slices of bread, along with a solid pile of 20 fried eggs. She wipes out the entire meal in just 5 minutes, but Dolly somehow still feels hungry. She hits the kitchen and pulls out some bacon. She gets to work frying up 2 crispy strips, but she's too hungry to let them finish cooking. She grabs a half-cooked piece and eats it straight, just to avoid getting yelled at. She fixes plates for her mom and sister too. Of course, her own serving size is way bigger. She even tosses a handful of cheese in. The hot melted cheese and bacon combo keeps Dolly eating without a single break. Half an hour later, she tracks down her mom, asking her to cook up even more food, but her mom flat out shuts her down. Dolly firmly refuses to go hungry, so she takes matters into her own hands. She cracks open and scrambles 20 fresh eggs. Thinking the meal needs a little more flavor, she loads them up with extra melted cheese and quickly whips up a brand new breakfast. She fries a quick side batch of 15 sausages. Still thinking her plate looks a bit light, she makes her sister hand over another scoop. They sit down at the kitchen table to eat.
Yeah, that can't be real.
Of course it's real, dude.
No, I think it's like scripted reality TV. I mean, come on.
Go ahead and consume, no pun intended, again, consume a couple episodes of the 600-Pound Life.
20 eggs?
Yeah, why not? Again, when you're at that level, like, your body needs like 8,000 to 9,000 calories a day because of all of the weight you're pushing around or whatever. Plus, you're just a disgusting pig. But I watch these shows, and like my question is like, who the hell is financing this? None of them work. They all just sit around eating food. Who the fuck is paying for this?
Man, I was thinking the same thing when she was double dipping for that second breakfast, because would she use 25 eggs the first time or something?
Yeah.
For the family, you know what I'm saying? Then just whipped up a quick 20 more for herself. I
Sure.
mean, like, what's the largest egg carton? Or dozen, no?
Well, yeah, no, they have 18, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, I mean, like, you have to my point is, you need to go, like, you're not just opening like one thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're dipping in, like, it's clear that this is a problem.
Yeah.
I just can't. Yeah, I don't get it. Again, believe me, do I understand the overeating, and hard to stay in shape and do the right thing? Sure, but I mean, if you're consuming 20 eggs with an oxygen line going into your nostrils, I mean, come on, there's a disconnect here somewhere.
And who is the blue hair for? Like, why are you dying? Why are you taking the effort? Did you fall asleep in a thing of blueberries or something? Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, as if she's eating fruit, please.
That's true. Maybe the
Not a
blueberry
piece of fruit in that house. Blueberry pie.
Well, it was funny because our
Later,
daughter,
peeps.
yeah, the doctor said she needed a diet, and she's like, "What color?" But like our daughter was showing, and you know how like when you go to like YouTube and you hover over it, it'll start playing like a clip from the show or whatever. So she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I like the show." Whatever. So she hovered over one, and the clip that it just said, "Linda lost a finger." Like it made us all bust out laughing. Like that. Of course, she lost a finger. Why wouldn't she?
Yeah. That's funny. You know, it's a
And John
chicken
Stevens is
finger.
right.
Good night, everybody. Later, peeps.
Oh fuck, John Stevens is right. We're paying for all that food. Of course we are.
You know, John, you're probably right. And you know what? Is there any more on that? Because I can do a little shift on what John said.
No, go ahead.
And we weren't even prepared to talk about this. I don't think. But have you caught anything on New York's fabulous new gem of an idea, which again feeds into just so nicely on our outlook on this type of mentality. Look, I love the idea of a community. Unfortunately, it's 8 million people or 3 million people, whatever, 8 million people, whatever fucking New York City has. But, you know, being able to get together and somehow figure out a way that they can maybe get their groceries a little cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just get a little bit of a break. You know what I mean? A little food on the table for not these inflated prices. You know what? That sounds like I love. Say again?
Like a co-op.
Right. I love it. It sounds great.
It does.
Herein lies the problem. Okay. Number one, we see who's paying for this, right? We see how this is playing out. What don't misunderstand me. You know, you're going to hear things like, no, only the super rich are paying for it. Don't worry. So that'll make you feel better. You know what I mean? Because we all hate the super rich. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's not just the super rich. You know what I mean? It's families that you and I maybe would look at and see their household income and we go, wow, they must be doing really well. But it's all proportional. It's all you have to put it all in perspective. You know what I mean? So if you're paying or you need to spend $1 million to get a 3-bedroom home in a decent neighborhood, you know, you making $100,000, $200,000 ain't doing shit for
True.
you.
These are facts.
Okay. So, you know, we masquerade this idea of only these villains, these super rich villains, are taking a brunt of it, and that's not the case. So, that's the one problem. Then it starts to fluctuate to the ideology as a whole. Okay. And it goes into all of a sudden we start looking at certain ways that this is being run. And we go, this seems awfully hypocritical. And specifically, I'm talking about how do we stop people that don't live in that area from going in and grabbing food at discounted prices and even going and reselling it, right? And taking advantage of people, right? What we would need to do is we would need some sort of identification, some ID, as the kids are saying.
That sounds like Big Brother.
Yeah. So, and people that like this idea of the grocery store are all for putting that fail safe into play by maybe showing ID. But yet it's the same people that when we're electing leadership and putting people of power into place, they don't need ID to vote. So I look at it being very hypocritical. Again, love your idea, but the substance is it's so there's so many holes.
Yeah, I mean, again, just even getting down to the business portion of it, they say that because they're going to run a nonprofit, that that cuts off the top. Well, I mean, the markup on this kind of stuff is usually 2 to 3% at best, usually store wide. They say that, well, we're going to cut back prices because you're not going to have to pay a property tax, so that'll become off the top. But everybody who works there is going to be a city employee, so they will have all the city benefits and things or whatever. So the baggers are going to be making $40 an hour with a pension. Those kinds of things. And who are they hurting? They're hurting the bodega owners, the small shop owners. It is another one of those things that is going to take advantage of the low income and advantage the high income, because those are going to be the people who are going to be frequenting it, like you said, people of means, because they want to support the local free bread line or whatever. But again, it's going to, and even looking at bringing in product, a lot of these stores, the big name stores or whatever, they have their product at a discount because they're buying in bulk. They're not going to get the sort of same kind of a price, even though they're going to demand it for a product. So their profit margin, which again is supposedly not existent, is going to be even less to pay for the product itself. So there's a lot of things that are going to go wrong with it. Again, I can appreciate the idea in a sort of an elementary kind of a way. But
well, that's what it is. Exactly, Rex. It's this pie in the sky type of ideology. You know what I mean? Right. And I love. Here's the thing that gets me too, is that if the typical hack talking point would be that, well, look how this type of thing has worked out in societies in the past, right? And you talk to immigrants from Cuba or Venezuela or blah blah blah, pick the socialist nation that folded, and or turned into a communist nation, right. and you talk to those people and you hear the horrors, right? But what's even more rich is that these younger people, such as Madani, come up and they think that this is some new, fresh idea that they could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you have a bunch of people that are good-hearted people that want it to be figured out and want to believe that it's figured that it could be figured out. You know what I mean? And if, as we said earlier, when you have an ideology, it's if you're not being genuine, it's very hard to start looking at the how do you put it, like you're looking at this beautiful building, and you're so focused on how beautiful that building is, you're not paying attention to the crumbling buildings next door or the rubble. You know what I'm saying? That's just everywhere surrounding it, because you're so focused. And somebody goes, but hey, look at all this, look at all the rubble that's all around this building. And you go, do me a favor. No, look at the building. Look how beautiful that building is. And right. Again, it's a bit silly because you're not, nobody wants a community with one shining building and the rest just being a rubble.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the things that socialisms espouse, take care of your neighbor, give to the needy, provide where if people are going through a hardship, to provide them, to lift them up. But they want government to sort of mandate these things and be in control of all these things. These ideas aren't new. These are ideas that Christian churches have been espousing since the beginning of Christianity. Like we want the same things, but we want it to be sort of a part of your natural life because of your moral grounding. You know what I mean? But they don't have that, so they need to have a government to come out and do it at a premium, and that's why it always fails.
Yeah.
He knows good and well what will happen. Did you see how you need ID to shop there and proof of residency of New York City? Are you not paying attention, VG? Footer just said that. God damn it.
I did. But no, I think he was out. No. Listen to me. I'd like you to give him a little grace on this one. He was out there protecting and serving.
Nobody likes
He was out there. What?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, he was gone. He was protecting and serving. He had a payroll issue or something of that nature.
Sorry, saying nobody likes you was just part of my inner monologue. Sorry, my apologies. I would never say that.
Oh, and with all due respect, you know what? There's only a few that the only ones that really care that whether they like me or not don't. So the rest of you shitbags can go screw.
I like that. Go screw. That's something that hasn't been said very often.
Well, I think that yeah, I think maybe we can start incorporating that. That and later peeps going to be my next two.
Later peeps, go screw.
Yeah,
I know everyone likes me, so you would have been lying anyways. Well, that's a good thing about being a sociopath, Veronix, is that you don't even care if everybody likes you.
Yeah, that's quite the.
You're like anti-needy.
Or Uncle Needy. Later, peeps. If it sticks more than fucking Tadao, good night, everybody. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot myself. Enough of this. Oh man.
And make sure that if it does stick, we get rid of this episode so John Stevenson doesn't get credit for it.
Or at least the contractual 3% from your pay that I told him that would be given to him.
That's true. That's true.
Via this live verbal contract.
Yeah.
So I was intact when I was saying it. Sure.
You know how one of the things that the conspiracy theories keep on holding up is that there's no way he could have brought we're talking about the Tyler Robinson thing and for no apparent reason other than I just saw a gun is you know how they kept saying, well, there's no way in the world he could have gone up the gun, there's no way he couldn't have carried it in his pants because the thing was too long. We stumbled upon this, and again, it's just a real short video, but it is sort of interesting that yeah, indeed, it is very, very easy to carry one of these rifles and walk around normally. Watch this.
A rifle on my persons. To put it back together, you literally just do this. And then this. And then screw. Takes about 20 seconds. Okay, go fuck yourself.
Can you play that one more time?
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
There's a rifle on my persons.
Interesting.
To put it back together, you literally just do this. And then this. And then screw. Takes about 20 seconds. Okay, go fuck yourself.
That a boy. The thing is this though, that how is he doing the bendy of the legs? I don't get.
Because
it was high enough and the butt end was up in their shirt.
Right. I mean, if you take
just above the knee.
Yeah, if you take a 4-foot gun and you split it in half, you only have 2 feet to work with, and it's up to your armpits on both sides.
Real mathematician you are.
Yeah. And I'm actually wrong because there's some overlap there. But anyway, so it is very possible to do it. So these people who are saying that you can't are what we call nonsense. That means that they're fushnikins. They're foolish. Can't remember what city and state it was. This is John Stevenson. That are pushing for voting for 16 and 17-year-olds in local elections. There's also people that are trying to have non-citizens vote in local elections, but it's okay because it's just local elections and it'll stop there. Like
can you imagine 16 and 17-year-olds voting? I mean really. And this is with all due respect to 16 and 17-year-olds, because God,
Plug it.
I want to say something so fucking horrifically funny though. I can't do it anymore. Fucking 2013 footer would have had a ball. My lord. With that being said, you know, I mean, it's unthinkable to even try and you know, reconcile the idea of having 16 and 17-year-old guys, people voting. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and Veronica says
next thing you'll get blacks and women you'll want. What are you, nuts?
Veronica said you wouldn't have to take the whole thing apart. I agree. I actually many shows ago I had a 303 Enfield that I have, which is similar to the Mauser as far as its putting together or whatever. And it's just 2 screws, and you can leave the scope mounted. You don't even have to pull the bolt out of the rifle itself. It's just 2 screws. The butt comes off, and you're good to go. So it is very possible. So people who are saying that isn't are fools. I can't imagine.
That was a pretty cool video. I like that.
I can't imagine even 16 or 17-year-old me voting. Again, I'm Republican, but still, like there's no way in the world that I would ever have any sort of informed knowledge of what I was doing.
And my reaction to even somebody giving me, you know, thinking that it's okay to have 16 and 17-year-olds has nothing to do with which way they would vote. Don't misunderstand me. They would be liberal shitbags. With that being said, even if I took that off the table, it's just that, again, all due respect, they're dopes. You know what I mean? I was a dope then. You know, and it's not even like, well, no, I mean, a lot are, but some are. No. They all are. Don't get me wrong. There's some stumble upon the right side of decision making, and you know what I mean. Maybe are highly intelligent young people. Sure, don't want them voting.
Yeah, because even if they stumble on the right, it's probably by accident, or they're just doing what their parents told them to do.
Yep. And Jen, go ahead, Rex. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jen says technology has made them dumber. Of course it has. They have more information and they're less intelligent. How does that work?
Yep. And it's right. I was gonna say, man, you beat me to it, because it's such a shame, because if it was done right, you know, again, you can travel the world in your bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And geez, to the effect of like live. You know what I'm saying? You can probably go to every major city and tap into their live feed. You know what I mean? And see something of substance, which would be great. But
or just watch Kensington, Pennsylvania. That's always a fun feed.
That I love. Man, that is a great feed. I used to watch that all the time. Straight up, like fucking grapes robberies going on live. It's insane.
It's a beautiful thing.
Insane.
The woven tapestry of Eastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's a great point too, John. But even if they did, again, because I'm going back to the mentality in their you know, frontal cortex type shit. But but you're right. You know what I mean? It would be nice to at least start with a little responsibility. You know.
Yeah, Veronica says that he didn't have informed decisions until he was 25, and even 18 is a little too young. I don't necessarily disagree. You know, I think you do have to have again, my voting is insane anyway. The universal suffrage is not something that I ascribe to anyway, but you really have to have some skin in the game. Either, you know, paying property taxes, kids is a huge thing. I think you know, I think below 30 and like above 60, you're way too selfish to vote. You're thinking about your own needs more than the country's needs. But once you get into like having kids, thinking about the future, I think you go into that. But then when you get into retirement age, again, you're thinking about your pension, your retirement, your things or whatever. And I think that it sort of falls off that way. So if it was up to me, voting would be from 30 to 60.
And I really believe, and this is the majority of the country of able-aged voters don't understand how serious their vote is. You know, because again, you know, at face value, on its own, it's not worth much. But in the system and how it's set up, it could mean everything. You know what I'm saying? And no one takes that approach. You know what I mean? Because that would again take something more than just emotions to cast your vote, and a lot of people can't separate the emotion and the logic and the reason, even if it kind of goes against their normal, let's say, political line or whatever you call it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you said able-minded. I think able-bodied. I don't think people in wheelchairs should vote either. I really want to see that when I'm standing in line. You know what I mean? Like, I already feel bad enough to have to be here. Now I have to watch you fucking wheel around and try to get into a voting booth. No thanks. If I handed my son his health insurance bill at 16, he would have fainted. Kind of like he was told he was having twin daughters. Did he have twin daughters?
I have twin daughters.
You do?
Yeah. Oh my God, are you my dad? Do you mean me? That's weird.
That is a little strange. But it wasn't at 16 though.
Oh God, no.
No.
No way. No. Oh, wait, no. That was two separate things, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think he said if he handed his son the insurance bill when his kid was 16, he would have fainted, and then meaning the reaction would have been the same reaction if it was like he was told he was having twin daughters.
How did you react when you're having twins?
Extremely happy, of course. I do remember I remember once finding out, running down down to the sidewalk and calling my parents and letting them know, and did the whole all right, well, you know what, yep, it's you're definitely gonna not only gonna be you're gonna have a granddaughter, yeah, you're gonna have two. What up? One of those.
Yeah, my phone call with my mom was a little different. I had called her and I said,
start with apologizing.
Well, I said,
and just going, you this is your first thing. You go, yes, it is Jen.
Well, I said, again, I was trying to do the sort of like just a cool layout. You know what I mean? Just kind of mention it. It's like, hey, we built this, we got that, we got this. You're having a grandkid, that kind of, but whatever. So I had said, Ma, I just, I wanted to let you know that you and Dad are going to be grandparents again. And she goes,
your brother's having a child again.
And she goes, so are we happy about this? I said, yeah, we are happy. Good. That's good. That's great. So it was a little bit more measured. I remember Jen had found out in a grocery store and Jen was passed out. Not from finding out, but just from the pregnancy itself. We did a pregnancy home test, and I didn't believe it, so I actually took the whole test apart to examine the actual piece that turns blue to make sure it wasn't just
pull out your markers. You're like, nah, we're good, baby. Yeah. Like, here, take a sip. Here, drink this bottle of vodka.
Yeah, penny royalty. The major problem with restrictions on who makes and enforces them. I actually think true AI would be beneficial in that regard.
Who are we talking about?
Veronics.
But what are we talking? In what context is he talking? I forgot what we were talking
about. Voting, I believe.
I think that would be a problem too. Yeah. AI, because again, let me put your tinfoil hats on, guys. I always wanted to say that during the show.
Okay. Do it.
And then like we get them, I'm saying, it's like one of our segments. We put on tinfoil hats and we have like this bunch of hacks.
Says later, peeps.
So yeah. I think that if you believe that AI is going to kind of have a mind of its own, and look, we've been told some horrific things about AI, right? So what if AI creates an agenda, but not an agenda for the left or to the right, their own agenda? Dun, dun. And let's just say their own agenda at this moment in time needs a Republican to get in. Maybe at this time it means a Democrat. Whatever they want, they can do and manipulate, and they do it for their agenda. Dun, dun. Okay, well, guess who's keeping their job, at least for the next week. Good job, Jen.
You know, you really want the answers, Veronix? Find Jesus, okay? He's got all the answers.
I love that, Rex. God, I love that. As long as you're not mocking, God, I love it.
That's not what I do.
John Stevenson, go ahead, read them out.
These smart tools the kids are using in school today is making them dumber and don't learn to think for themselves. That's true. I mean, and I've asked Footer questions, and he's asked me like of things that we could look online to figure out. But sometimes, again, I just enjoy and again, even the is Jesus a Jew thing. I could definitely look up the pros and cons of both sides and have a measured, balanced opinion on what is right and what is wrong. But that's not fun. That isn't enjoying, and it doesn't help you in the long run for sure.
Yeah. So let me bring this up again because I wanted to talk about something. It is making them dumber and dumber. I don't think. Oh, okay, now I remember. That's why I brought it back up because I wanted to remember. Did you see the story? And again, I might have not been too recent, but I believe it was this year that there was a teacher that it was a midterm and he failed like 45 out of 50 students or whatever on the midterm.
Yeah,
because he caught them using AI. Do you know how these teachers and how he caught them using AI? Fucking brilliant.
No, how?
Okay. He sent out the assignment and it was like, a rundown, 1,000-page essay. And then like,
1,000
down 1,000-word essay, between 750 and 1,000-word essay, broke down what it needs to be about, how it needs to be formatted, et cetera, and it was written down in this long paragraph, right? But if you zoomed in like 50 times, right, it said in a little thing, it said Julius Caesar caused chaos or something of that nature, or something to do with Julius Caesar, right?
Yeah.
And these dumb kids would just copy and paste into the search engine.
Yeah.
And it would spit out this 750 word essay exactly. And if as you're reading it, it looks fucking perfect. But all of a sudden, randomly mixed into these words, it says Julius Caesar, something about Julius Caesar and chaos. And these dopey kids wouldn't even fucking like proofread it. You know what I mean? How fucking awesome is that, dude?
That's great.
What a brilliant idea, man. What a brilliant fucking idea.
Yeah, and Veronica says teachers use AI to check for AI, which I think is a good idea. But if I was going to pick a field of employment to get rid of, it would be your grammar and middle of high school teachers, and that would be the first thing I would replace with AI if it was me.
And would say what kind of teacher?
Your primary and secondary schools, in the college or whatever. I think you could probably have professors or whatever, but I think that your basic education should probably be handled by AI.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, we can always talk about that. I think there's a few things that we would have to take into consideration, but again, tinfoil, you want to throw your tinfoil hat on again, you go back to, we're worried about an agenda. You know what I mean? What are these AI robots teaching our kids?
Yeah, I don't think they can do any worse than what our actual teachers are doing.
You know what? Great point. I can 100% agree with that. I think too that it's weird. Like in school, like they don't teach kids how to write cursive anymore, script, whatever you call it. Like that's been done away with.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of odd.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to come back a little bit. Because
is it? Okay.
But the other advantage of having like a uniform AI, especially within a school district or whatever, is that if your kids are home, they'll have parents watching it too. And they'll actually be able to see what the curriculum is. Again, not all parents will do it. But I think that if we're paying, what is it, like $20,000 a student or whatever to go to class for a year or something. It's something insane in taxes what we pay. If we were to take that money and, like I've said about married mother income or whatever, and revert it back to having a parent that can stay home and watch their kids and then teach, and they're also watching it or whatever, I think that would be a lot more efficient than what we're doing right now. Veronix, I can use AI very efficiently. Well, Lottie fucking da, Vij. And it's an amazing tool. You're an amazing tool.
I've got an amazing tool. Ask Deb. Later, peeps. The the thing is, I think AI. Look, don't misunderstand me. I think AI is unfreaking believable. But you need to ask for the sources on everything that you care about, really learning the truth, and then pulling up each source and making sure they're legitimate. You can't go to whatever, maplesyrup.com is one of the fucking choices. You know what I mean? When you want to learn about fucking Canadian politics, I mean, that probably is the actual perfect website.
Very well could be.
But you know my point.
I do.
Colonel makes a good point real quick. We'll bring him up so he doesn't feel human resources is an adult daycare. The dumbest thing that anybody has ever come up with is human resources. Human resources should be the owners, the bosses. You know what I'm saying? They're your human resources.
Right.
If Janet doesn't mind getting slapped in the ass as she passes the desk, and Bill likes to slap an ass, you know what I mean? Let ass slapping going on. Go make it happen.
I think the market should sort of dictate what an employer does. I mean, if an employer wants to put on a sign in their house in front of the business that says no blacks, he should be. Now, I don't. But if he wanted to, he should be able to. Now, the market will dictate, and he probably won't get a lot of business.
Okay. Well, okay. I was gonna say I would give more of the example, like if the mechanic wants to hang up the the girl in the bikini calendar on his workbench, he should. I was gonna go a little more there, but sure, right. No blacks works.
Is that a statement of fact?
Depends on who you ask, I guess. Colonel would say no.
My son, this is John Stevenson. My son graduated high school early, straight A's, and graduated college and doesn't know important dates of American history. Well, you're just obviously a bad father. That's how.
That's clear. Oh, clearly, John. Clearly bad dad. No, John, you're 100% right. That is very, very weird, because the fact of the matter is there are a lot of successful people of the last generation. Excuse me. Yeah, pretty much. We've talked about it, of these certain generations that they're able to somewhat succeed, meaning make a good living, be successful in regards to, whatever, you just the so-called American dream, right? And or even surviving, right? Which is tough enough to do in these days. But yet, if you said how many continents are there, they'd have no clue. You know what I mean? Right. Now the flip side would be, well, if I can achieve all this greatness and not know how many continents are there, how important was it that I knew how many continents there were? You know my point? Like, I get the little game, but yes, you're right. There is this certain knowledge that we've always learned and kind of thought that they were like kind of like gimmies. You know what I mean? That you should just kind of know that these kids don't have nowadays.
Well, it's a difference sort of like between living and surviving. You know what I mean? You can survive on some kind of a multivitamin milkshake. You don't really have to go anywhere. You don't have to experience anything. You can obtain all of that raw data information from books, computers, things or whatever. You don't have to own a house. You can rent somewhere. The point of the matter is that life is more about living it rather than just existing until you're dead. And that is another thing that as I am not a Christian, I do believe is, your life has to be 3-dimensional. You have to be able to enjoy it and take it in for all of its faults and all of its wonders. You have to do that because that's what makes life fulfilled.
I agree with everything, but what's the context of that in regards to the what I said for as far as like not knowing the
well,
how
that's
many
the point.
continents there?
My
I don't understand.
Because you can go through college and school or whatever and just learn the things that you need necessary to earn money, but that's not going to give you a full breadth of being able to utilize your mind elsewhere outside of just those facts. You know what I mean? Like, and not only that, but the whole doomed to repeat history kind of a thing. And, be able to have an intelligent conversation and look at the world 3-dimensional as far as like knowing continents, who won the Civil War, who was the 4th president, which you don't know. Those kind of things that you should know because it helps you build and have a more dynamic way of thinking and not just being able to regurgitate facts.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's all right.
I've never been good to presidents. But you know what? On the same token, like if there's nobody you want to slap more, it's the kid that like when he was 7, like knew every president, or like, you know what I mean? Like there's that one kid that like has that weird fucking like freakish thing that some, like that his father or something or his grandfather like taught him, and like he's amazing at it. That's annoying as fucking sin. Kid can't fight.
Veronica, so you really only need to read, write, and do basic math to succeed in the real world. Yeah, but what kind of life is that?
Yeah, I think that's mostly true, but you do want to be extraordinary at points in your life. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes, for example, let's say, if I just knew how to read, write, and do basic math, I would have never been able to make any money or have any success in music. You know what I'm saying? Which I would consider a little like extraordinary. It's not your ordinary route. Again, I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent, but you know what I'm saying? To get outside the box, sometimes you do need a little more. But look, you'd be very successful in the box, or you take those, I guess those basic things, and utilize that to kind of, somehow go out of the box, but you're not going to succeed in like music and shit like that.
Yeah, and Veronica, you said
maybe I'm wrong.
You're not giving me the proper metric of success. You know what I mean? Like you're saying success is only a monetary thing, and I don't agree. Colonel says I was the nerd, was good at geography. I'll best you with a map. And then he said he meant beat. So he would definitely fail at an English test, but I would have been fine with
okay, yeah, we know that one nerd that you were good at. You're like, yeah, I was great at geography, I just couldn't spell it.
I gotta be honest with you, I was okay with I'll best you with a map. I thought that had a little bit of majesty to it, but
I was really in my head, I'm going, you know what, I'm not going to challenge him in a fucking map duel of any sort.
He's
very
now
confident.
I might.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely challenge you to a spelling bee.
Yep.
Later, peeps. Sorry, I don't have much.
Another video that we had come across was a woman who was taking her kids to a dentist. And again, I'm a little bit dubious of the claim because she comes off as an angry lesbian who probably never had kids. But she went to a new dentist and she was a little bit upset.
Well, of course, she's going to be upset if you go there and the dentist is nude. I'd never go to a nude
dentist.
What?
Why would you be upset with that?
I don't want big jugs in my face.
Oh, you have a female dentist? Class A.
The last one.
All right. Well, she probably would be fine with it because she's an angry dyke. But this is how she her first foray into this new dentist office went.
New dentist, and I walk in and see Bibles on the tables everywhere. And I go to the reception counter and say, "Hey, what's with all the Bibles everywhere?" And they said, "Oh, they're just there." Da, da, da. And I said, "I need to cancel my appointment. I'm not playing games anymore. This is not a Christian nation. You don't need to have Bibles out everywhere."
Okay. This one got me.
I figured it would.
Great job, guys. Yeah, this one rage baited me. Again, partly the hair and the face, but the message. And let's do this. Okay, let's be fair and reasonable. For real.
Yeah.
What is the problem of the Bibles being around? What is the problem? Like, don't just footer with hair. I don't know. I don't think she's not a handsome one. I think I'm a little more handsome than her.
I have a problem with the separation between the forehead and the hair, but I'm sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack you, Footer. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. But my whole thing is like this is the shit that kills me, and it feeds into what I say to you all the time. No, I'm not insulted. I just think I think you're off. But my thing is this: I don't understand why people have to be so like such hatred towards Christianity. Again, even what is the Bible doing? Like shooting lasers out of it? If you're not, or you're like if you're a non-believer, does it shoot a laser at you and like stun you or something? Like my point. What?
Yeah.
Just don't read it. Don't pick it up. I never understood this. Like why does she feel so threatened?
And it is a new thing because I've made reference to the Gideon's Bible before. That's been in every single hotel room you've ever been in since 1963. Nobody had a problem. I also have a problem with her saying there were Bibles everywhere. Like I have a hard time believing
she's walking in, tripping over stacks of Bibles. I mean, really, that's a great point, Rex. I mean, you cut the rhetoric and fucking hyperbole. Stop with the horse shit, bitch.
And the fact is like she would have, you talk about, she would have no problem with a book that says my daughter has a penis. You know what I mean? Like she would just be like, oh well, I'm just glad that they're actually being, so.
Right. Like if there was one lane that like we're all the same, it would be the book title.
Mm-hmm. John Stevenson, it's Bob's big boy dyed his hair blonde. Yes, with that little freaking whoop.
Yeah, and how about she lays off the fucking Vicodin before she does a video? You fucking you fucking all pupil bitch. What's going on?
She's definitely no raging tomato. I'll give you that. Did Footer kill the?
I didn't kill it. I swear I didn't. I told them from the beginning. Say again.
Didn't you say you didn't like it?
Yes, I said I said it. I didn't love the bit, but I said, you know what? It may grow on me. It does. I don't, dude. And plus, Jen, like if I didn't like something, I'd be like, yo, straight up, like I ain't fucking. We're not doing this. This is ridiculous because I don't say that often. You know what I mean? So when I do, I always hope it holds some weight. But no, I never said not to do it. Right?
VG called you a bitch, just so you know.
Wait for her to get his monstrosity off my screen, bitch. What monstrosity? I mean, again, calling you bitch is very nice.
You wanted to pause the video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right, that's fair. All right, but I just don't like. I mean, I don't think you should call me a bitch. I don't think demeaning me that way would really be the right way to go about it. But all right.
I got to say, her lower choppers are pristine though. That's not a bad set of teeth.
No, like it could be veneerish. You know what I mean? Almost too nice. Again, nothing wrong with it. I think I'm gonna get some gold teeth. You know what I mean? Almost like a Sid Wilson from Slipknot type of look. I'm not gonna go Paul Wall, but just something, like a Tommy Lee, like maybe a gold tooth that you can kind of see. Something cool.
All right, play it out just so I don't
where in your office. Or you can, and I won't patronize it. So don't tell me that queer people are trying to shove their agenda down people's throats when everywhere I go, there's Bibles around, there's people let me pray for you. Don't give me that shit. I'm fucking done.
Okay, stop going to churches, lady. Because that's the only place that you've really described to me that you're bombarded with Bibles.
Yeah, I mean,
I got Bibles everywhere.
Yeah, what do you live in Provo? Like, move somewhere else.
How about you don't live in Vatican City? You know what I mean? I mean, you fucking relocate, you shitbag. Oh my god.
That reminds me.
I want to go where she lives.
Yeah, have you seen Jonah Hill lately?
Yeah, did you see him calling out like, "I'll kick anybody's ass" in
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu?
that's
You saw
exactly what I saw. You're talking about veneer teeth. Like, what the fuck happened to his teeth?
What was the movie that he was in that he had fake teeth? Was that Wall Street or it was the one where Scorsese was the what's the Scorsese film he
Hardball or
did?
something? Or
Maybe.
Moneyball?
I don't think Scorsese did that. Though.
Oh.
Regardless, when he had the big fake teeth in,
Okay.
that's when he should have. Yeah, that's
Because
maybe he
I
just
had
leaned
saw
all
that
in.
I had saw that interview you're talking about, and I was like, holy fuck, what the hell is that? So yeah, another one that can you just bring up, I remember it, but I forgot what it was. Can you just bring up the assets?
And
there?
God, we had a really bad lag on YouTube Shorts live. I'm still watching the bitch fucking talk. Sorry.
Oh wow.
Did you not say anything?
Parking ticket. No, it was one from today. Scroll up all the way up. Oh, this wasn't the one I was thinking of, but oh, it's because I didn't pull it. It was that one I was supposed to pull about the guy with the vaccines or whatever. Damn it. Oh, we'll use that for Sunday.
But you can still talk about it if you want, and then we can.
Well, this one specifically, you know how I think a lot of these people that we find that are so offensive are actually demons in the flesh. You know what I mean? I really do have a feeling that the people who are so abrupt with you when you put out a Christian message and they're vicious towards you, I think demons are real, and I think that they manifest in these kind of ways because they can't help but be pure evil towards you. So as a reference to manifestation of a demon, there's this.
Opinion is ugly as hell. I've got a bunch of passing, pick-me trans people up in my comments right now telling me that I'm making society a worse place to us all by being myself and sharing my experience. Let me tell you, you are privileged as hell to be passing. Not all of us want to be living up to society's expectations of gender norms and beauty standards. Besides, there's more to beauty than appearance. It's also about opinion, and your opinion is ugly as hell.
You're gonna hate me here, I think.
Sure, go ahead.
I got to be honest with you. I don't quite understand his positions right now. But if you told me he was a Christian and he preaches the gospel and he was a really good guy, I'd have him in my church any day. The way
that's true.
I think it's ridiculous, but I have no problem with people's appearances for the most part.
It has nothing to do with his appearance. It has to do with his appearance and his message.
Yeah, I thought that he was actually going against the trans people and stuff. Meaning not I thought he was normal. I was confused with his message. I was so distracted by his horrific look.
I saw you masturbating. I get it, but he it's the evil hatred message behind it that I have a hard time with. Again, people who want to be walking fishing lures, that's fine. I don't care. But when you're living a life of anger and hate and and he even said something along the lines of
hold on. Yeah, we froze and I didn't hear anything you said. The cameras kind of went off, both of ours. So it's like it's our main feed. But yeah, just repeat yourself again. I'm so sorry. We went blank.
I don't know from where, but anyway, my issue was
it might have been mine. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, well, it's fine. But again, my main issue overall is not how he looks. It's his, what I believe to be his inner self manifesting into a very ugly person on the outside.
Yeah. If look, if the devil has him, you know what I mean, and demons, if he does let that into his life, I would definitely see it as a manifestation. You know what I'm saying? I also think if you were following Christ and you felt good about yourself, because I've seen some amazing transformations. Like, you ever see? Well, you probably don't, but on my feed, because a lot of it's Christian stuff, it'll show like, 2000. Say again?
I said no kidding.
Yeah, it'll say like 2024 and I'll have like this goth girl, you know what I'm saying, just acting all like dumb or whatever. Then it'll like go to like her like 2026 and like her baptism, and then like how like she's a lot more conservative as far as like, and she just looks like happy and healthy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's sort of my point. It's a manifestation of her inside beauty that comes out eventually. You know what I mean? When people are down a bad path, a lot of times they wear that on their face or on their body or whatever. But once they find a good path, it doesn't matter what permanent things they did to them as a kid, you can see it because it manifests. Say manifest again, Rex. On their facial expressions, the way that they hold anger and don't hold anger specifically.
Yeah. No, I understand. That's you're I can see. Yep, that's a great point. I understand it.
So remember early on in the show, I had said something about the fact that I love to see a story about a good black person coming up. You know what I mean? And again, I don't mean,
bro. Keep
why,
it clean, man.
Why do you have to do that?
You're asking. You first of all, you think because you used the word masturbate before instead of jagging off that you're like some fucking, what are you, the Queen of fucking England? Relax.
I don't remember the Queen of England ever talking about masturbation, but
maybe if she did, she wouldn't say jagging off. She'd say fucking masturbation.
Pinky
you know what I mean?
Yeah. So anyway, this particular black person coming up story I love because this woman did well, got out of the projects, but the projects didn't get out of her. You know what I mean? So
that's fine with me.
It's a beautiful combination of a black person doing well for themselves, making something of her life, doing right by her kids, but still being ghetto as shit.
Another thing, you think I'm gonna let y'all broke down Tonka truck minded motherfuckers make me feel bad for wanting to live better? You think I'm gonna let you goddamn foot draggers, goddamn underbrain developed motherfuckers make me feel bad for wanting to have peace in my life? If you want to keep your saggy pant bunnet wearing asses in the fucking hood, acting like a bunch of mindless buffoons, and keep your motherfucking ass there, because the world that lives like this wants y'all to stay over there. So don't fuck with me because I want that little boy back there under the water having a good time, happy. Are you fucking nuts? And that's the problem, because a lot of black people think that living like that is normal. I'm here to tell you, the ghettos are not normal. Living like that is not fucking normal. That lets me know you got a mental arrested development and you need help and prayer. Message.
I don't know if I'm more impressed by her attitude and her ideology, or that the black kid knows how to swim. Later, peeps.
Again, beautiful. Either way, I definitely saw his head come up a couple of times, so he definitely does have some skills in the pool. So kudos to both the mother and the black fella that can stay afloat. By the way, before we forget, what the hell is this game that you wanted to play today?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to blow you out of the water. I thought this was the thing you wanted to do.
It is, but again, I didn't know the importance level of it. Okay, well, it was just a little fun one. It was a little fun one.
Have you never noticed that when you bring up something, it always takes top of mind? I stop the presses for when Footer wants something. That's what I do.
All right. Well, now I have to look, because the link that I put in there, when I hit it, it didn't bring me to the. Hold on, let's.
And Bear is asking.
Talk a little while I do this.
Well, Bear is asking if he or she can join. Of course, you can join, Bear. Can I call you Bear? Is it Bear? I don't know. Like people with it, please make the names a little easier for us.
Baranowski. Yes, buddy. Just click the link down below, and we'll bring you right up. Just be. Don't do anything with nudity.
Hey, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. How is my audio, by the way?
Perfect.
You're actually okay.
Brilliant.
Yep, you're good.
Thank you. No, I thought I'd ask first before joining randomly.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, you're very welcome to talk. What's on your mind, big guy? What's going on?
Oh no, I saw the title where it was about Generation Alpha becoming more like Christian or not.
Yeah. What do you think?
Right.
I think they are in certain senses. Obviously, they're not all becoming one form of Christianity, but a lot of them are becoming more Christian. And personally, I just think it's a. So what I think is that children, they just naturally go against authority. So the reason why there was a lot of like atheism and like anti-Christianity back then was because that was the mainstay. But now where anti-Christianity is being pushed, these kids who are rebelling against authority are becoming Christian to like spite them.
So you think?
Yeah, you know what? Well, real quick, Rex. Let me. I kind of. Yeah, I like what you said. Let me go back to what. Did you hear the? You didn't hear the beginning of the show, right? You kind of.
No, I missed that. Sorry.
Okay, so sorry for everybody else, but let's just rehash a little bit what we spoke about in the beginning of the show. Rex was talking about going school shopping with his daughter, and how he noticed that there was a lot of pro Christianity, a lot of Bible verses, things of that nature. So and I'm a Christian, so I had said to him, I go, well, how did you feel about that? I go, and he answered, he said, it made him feel good or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But my other question was, do you feel like it was almost this, like this marketing thing and like a trend? You know what I mean? And go ahead, Rex, if you want to expand a little bit on that, on your answer.
Well, my question for you is that you're basically saying it's a function of being counter to your parents. And again, there very well could be some strong evidence for that. But I'm curious to know if you think that perhaps it's because of like a level of a want and a need for that hole to be filled with something that's because again, I think that it's a human a function of humanity to have some kind of spirit or a third dimension to your personality and your existence actually. So do you think that because like the world is so kind of bleak and two-dimensional and it doesn't necessarily come out naturally, as I was growing up, it was sort of natural kind of a thing to have religion in your life of whatever. It didn't have to even be a church base, but I grew up and like you always knew of Jesus and Christmas, and it was very sort of blanket. But now with that sort of being gone, you don't think that perhaps that vacuum is just because it is so big that it's just manifesting itself into something that is a need as a human?
Oh yeah, no, I would say that as well, because it's as we've seen throughout history, in the bleakest of times, faith prospers and expands and grows, and it's the one like anchor for a lot of people that keeps them going, and it is like a natural part of humanity. We do need faith. It's been a core point for humans for even before Christianity.
Are you in the UK?
I am, yeah.
Now again, is it because I think you're a little bit farther down the road in the anti-Christian kind of because of the influx of Muslims. Do you see it over there as well?
With more people becoming Christian? Oh yeah, definitely.
Now,
but I think real quick, Rex, you brought up a good point as far as you had said, Bear. You used the word faith, right, involved in everything you said, because I liked everything you said, but then you kind of just said faith, like almost generally speaking. You being from the UK, you've seen what Islam has done to your country in regards to a lot of the controversy and a lot of the things that are on a negative aspect. So I don't think I don't necessarily think it's just a faith thing, because again, Muslims have faith. You know what I mean? I think the moral value, I think, is higher than this generality of faith, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair point there.
Okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't have used like faith as like a general thing, but so yeah, I was wrong for that. I apologize, but yeah, with your points,
no, I'm just
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't trying to call you out on it. I was just trying to maybe clarify more of in a micro, zoom in a little bit. Rex, what was the next point you were making? I'm sorry.
So do you are you like an eternal optimist when it comes to the UK in general, or humanity as a thing, or do you feel that this is a ship that can be turned around with faith?
To be honest with you, I'm kind of like in two mindsets about it. I am optimizing and hoping that, that something better is going to come along, and I hope it does. But at the same time, I'm one of them. I'm just stuck in two minds where it's like I can't really guarantee or say anything. I'm just hoping for the best, really.
Yeah,
and that's fair, especially when the reality of what's going on around you is very contrary to hope of it changing. But I do feel, to actually bring it back to the clothing that Rex saw when he went school shopping. You have to remember, at least as far as in the States, we said earlier, and I'll rehash it a little bit, the major stores like let's say Target, for example, which is, one of the biggest chains that are selling to the youth, a lot of their stuff was based around LBGQ plus and trans rights and just a lot of the things that you would be very surprised that would be a marketing tool and being pushed in these major chains of stores. And that's been going on for a decade or so in our country. So it really is a almost like a shock when Rex texted me personally and was like, "Hey, we just went school shopping and you're not going to believe this." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's freaking great," because it was such the opposite only a few years ago, if not even last year, but I did make the point that I think also what's pushing it is that not only, as you said, I think, the natural rebelling of certain things and certain ideologies when because like it was very easy. Every other religion you can beat up. Okay. Christianity, every Christianity you can beat up. Every other religion is protected. You can't beat up or say anything negative because you become inophobe, whether it's an Islamophobe or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So Christianity, you're always allowed to beat up. So maybe there's something to your point as far as maybe these kids are seeing Christianity be beat up so much. And maybe it is a little bit of a rebellion thing. You know what I mean? The good part about it is, as a Christian, I believe that is the truth. So I think it's not like barking up this tree that they're going to get up there and go, "Oh, this is terrible." I think that they're going to be able to embrace it. And even if a percentage of the people, grasped it, I think that it would be it's going to help society, or at least make it more of a positive push.
So, I mean, the other sort of good thing that you can take from it is that, the book commands us to do so, that it does let us know that there will be a morning. It doesn't mean there's not going to be some fire and brimstone and a tower collapsing at some point. But, with our Christian faith, I'll just say broadly, it does lend comfort to the Christians that, that the sun will rise again, because it always has and always will until it doesn't. So it's either things are going to get better because in history it has, in Christianity, or it's going to get way, way worse real fast. Those are our two choices. So either way, it pays to have the faith.
And so what are your thoughts as far as in your country? Do you feel that, or am I being hyperbolic, you think?
Sorry, you cut out a bit there,
Yeah, yep, sorry. I said what are your feelings on, like, and I use the word infiltration of Muslims in your country? Is that an accurate portrayal of how it feels there? Is it this takeover, or am I just being hyperbolic?
No, you are very accurate there.
Okay. Do you see, let's just say, as society as a whole, and again, this is just the personal anecdote, you know what I mean? But I think if we're talking, so I think it's fair to take it into consideration. Do you see a negative towards society since then?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially just due to the fact that it for a lot of people, the way they're perceiving it, and I believe it's true, is that they're given preferential treatment when it comes to like these types of people or like what their crimes are. And, you know, if we see the same headlines over and over again, everyone reaches a point where it's like, hang on a minute.
Wow. Jason in chat, I just read it. Was talking about a House bill in Massachusetts called the Muslim Inclusion Act, and I was just looking at it. It says the Massachusetts House bill, alongside its companion Senate bill, is titled "An Act Promoting the Civil Rights and Inclusion of American Muslims in the Commonwealth." The purpose is to establish a permanent 11-member state commission focused on the status, civil rights, and inclusion of American Muslims in Massachusetts. Well, that's not fucking alarming at all. Jesus.
Yeah. And once again, how about we do talk to our friends like Bear across the sea there, and we look at some of their personal experiences. You know what I mean? And we utilize that to go, you know what? Let's fucking wake up. I mean, it really is. It's out of control. And one thing about the show, Bear, is like, you know, we try to be really honest as far as listening to people. You know, we usually ask for people on the show when they come in or they comment. If they're going to make a claim, we don't care what claim they make. We just like them to have a little bit of evidence behind it. And most of the time, they really don't. They don't bring anything to the table. All they do is sit there and they spew talking points. You know, they'll blame. And again, whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump, you yelling "big orange man bad" in the chat isn't really, it's not doing much for your point. You know what I'm saying?
You're not bringing into the conversation.
Right. And again, it's okay you feel that way, but if you're trying to have a conversation and further your agenda, I think you're getting off to the wrong point. And I can almost apply that to people when they just start, because I like I said, I'm a Christian, but I utilize this platform a lot to call out Islam. Okay. I love Muslim people. My goal would be to have them come to Christ, because I feel like they're being led down a path, that they're in a cult, a demonic cult. And I don't base that on anybody telling me about things. I base that I base that on their Quran, their hadiths. You know, the you know, whether like these, like their hadiths, I'm reading into their commentary. Like I've studied it over 18 months. I've watched and I've listened. You know what I mean? So I'm coming at it from their own. It's an internal critique that I what I do when I think about Islam. And if you're just going to yell at me because I'm saying things that are true, that are based out of your Quran and Hadiths, and you're going to call me an Islamophobe, or I'm a racist, or I'm filled with hate, that's not furthering your agenda. You would have to show me when I say that your prophet, let's just say I use hyperbole and I'm like, oh, your prophet's a PDF file, right? And you go, that's ridiculous. How dare you say that? You're a racist. You're hateful. You have Islamophobe. And then I go, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's go into the Quran and the Hadiths and see that your prophet, that is supposed to be the epitome of morality, married a 6-year-old and consummated at 9. If you can justify that to me and make me understand how that's going to be okay, or that works for you, maybe I can maybe pull back a little bit on the rhetoric. But at face value, and when I do the research, there's nothing that anybody can say or a Muslim can say to justify that to me. And they may say the same thing about things in Christianity, but I dig deep to find scripture that you know, because we deal with a lot of horse shit from people. You know what I mean? So you know, I'm just trying to give you a little bit of basis of kind of like when we talk about certain things. I don't want you to, because you're new here, I don't want you to think that we're these you know, hardcore right wing or hardcore left wing, or we hate Islam, or is none of that. We really do come at things very logical and reasonable. You know?
Yeah, I'm the one who hates Islam and is hardcore right. Not Footer, he's fine.
No, but you do it in the really responsible, correct way, where if you're going to make a claim, you at least have like a evidence or backup for what you're saying. You know what I mean? You're not just throwing it out to the wind.
Try to.
And yeah, and I don't even. Listen, I don't have to agree with you. But I would love just a little bit of logic and a little bit of reason behind your claim, and just some evidence. What do you? Let me ask you this: is there any? Do you follow at all? Did you follow at all the Charlie Kirk situation and Candace Owens and all that stuff? Is that go on your radar there?
The Charlie Kirk one was that was one I followed a lot when it happened. I know about Candace Owens, but I don't really keep up with her.
You're blessed.
What are your thoughts? Yeah, you're for real. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think what do you think about him being killed? Was it this inside job? Was it this Tyler Robinson? Where do you stand there? I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of stuff that come out of that I was following, especially when it was I think it was the roommate message leaks. A lot of really dodgy stuff. I can't really say for sure if it was a conspiracy or not. But there was a lot of really dodgy stuff coming out of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, that's one answer that I think it was yesterday when we were texting back and forth, Rex and I. I'm Footer, by the way, and that's Rex. We were saying how I was saying that I'm even if you're debating something, I'm totally okay with you saying I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm so okay with that. I always feel like when you're having a discussion with somebody, you should either concede the point if it's just look, if you're stuck, you either have to concede the point or you just say, I don't know. I'm okay with those. I don't like when people are dishonest and disingenuous, trying to push their ideology. That's
what I do. If you ask me about something and I didn't know, I would say I don't know because I'm not going to lie or make something up off the top of my head.
Yeah, I love that, Bear. I really do. Anything else? And Rex, you got anything you want to talk about with
nothing offhand. Again, we dove deep. Matter of fact, if you're interested in some of the back information on the Candace Owens things, we put out a special over the weekend, a 3-part special on a lot of the information that sort of backs up the going narrative of what we think happened. So if you have 4 or 5 hours to kill, it's a good special to take a look at and see some of the information that they're keeping out of the public.
Oh yeah, okay then.
All right, buddy. We're getting ready to wrap up here. It was great talking to you. And you're more than welcome anytime.
Oh, thank you very much. Listen, take care, guys, and God bless you.
You too. Bear,
take care, buddy. God bless, my friend. There you have it, everybody. Great caller, Bear. Didn't have a lot to say, but when he said it rang through to me.
Why do you got to disparage him? Call him basically a know nothing.
I didn't say, what are you, nuts? Jesus.
Just because he's in the UK doesn't mean that he's not as good as an American, Footer.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
All right.
I'm sorry. Are we switching roles?
I guess.
I'll take the Kaiser. Later, peeps. Anyway, listen, everybody. Thank you very much. John Stevenson, Colonel, Veronix Gaming, our new pal Bear, Melly was in there earlier. Again, if I missed you, I'm sorry, Colonel. Obviously, we love you. But yeah, thanks everybody. Do me a favor again, if you haven't, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends. It really helps us. But yeah, everybody have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you soon.
August 29th, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is only the
AM.
What did I say? PM? Don't correct.
What a douche! Wow. Yeah, don't do that, Jen. That's not cool.
That's how you get 5 across the eyes. I've told you this.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I hope that doesn't happen, Jen.
Kick Rex out.
11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Bakash and Veronix Gaming are going to have a debate. Bakash, a wonderful man in his own right. Unfortunately, he's a black Hebrew Israelite, so he's always wrong. And Veronix is a pagan, which makes him always wrong, too. So it should be a great debate. Otherwise, if you're listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or wherever you hear us, come on over to Rumble. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell wherever you are. Good night, everybody. Nah, I'm not going to say it. What was I going to say?
Push his agenda. pocket.
What the fuck was Dang today?
Probably knee deep and fucking balls across the nose.
Just jackhammering from trolley driver. Middle of fucking Buckingham Palace.
No, he's doing something extremely gay, disparaging the gays.
Yeah.
He basically like, I hate my lifestyle. I just love dicks.
Cut that.
I meant me. Good luck and have fun. Don't die. I hope. First of all, you know I ride a motorcycle. You never say that to somebody. What's wrong with you?
What is that, like wishing somebody a broken leg?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I made that up.
We are going to die, John. I hate to tell you. That's a given. John, you're going to die.
Man. Leave John alone. Pretty beautiful twin daughters and son. Make him lose that.
Dexter Rose had a better one he did.
I like how we put in chat. Yeah, they're identical. What do you think? We're like, why don't you call in and tell some funny stories how they tricked you, John? What a dick I am. I just want to share a little bit about his life. I love you, John. God love you, John.
Later, peeps.